What advice your parents gave you turned out to be complete bulls. Don't take that scholarship, it's only to help the poor. Yes mum, but we're only borderline middle class and that scholarship would have meant I didn't have to work every weekend in uni. Real advice is, if people are handing you money, take it. Computers will never catch on. Don't waste any more of your time on them. Wasted a decade doing random temping jobs before finally working with computers. Now they harass me all the time to fix their devices. Rule 1 of IT. Never let anyone know you are IT. You can't just apply online. Get dressed up, go to Lockheed Martin, introduce yourself, and ask if they have any available positions. I didn't do it for the record. They were just so adamant about it. My parents, they just did not understand how many places these days only do applications online and showing up isn't going to do anything. If you study for the final year of high school, you'll never have to study for the rest of your life. I think this is very India specific advice. Oh, boy were they wrong. They say that before every exam. Just get good grades in this one. The rest is all a cakewalk. My mom once told me that men never had to apologize and that saying sorry was the woman's job. I knew instantly how bulls it was and it made me wonder what kind of freaking Stockholm syndrome my father gave my mom. Love means never having to say I'm sorry is absolute bulls. They're only mean to you because they like you. They're jealous. That's a great way to encourage people into crappy, abusive relationships. Also, they are mean because I'm a freaking loser with no social skills. My mom saying that actually encouraged me to be mean to a girl I had a crush on. It ended up with a trip to the principal's office because she got sick of my BS and reported every mean thing I said. Work doing what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I do love what I do, but it's still freaking hard work. I'm in the craft beer industry. I don't drink anymore. You'll be empty and sad if you cut one of your parents out of your life. When I went away to college, I felt a gaping emptiness. That emptiness was family, and you'll feel it too. Wrong on all counts, mom, and good riddance. Anything about dating a girls, although I always knew it was bulls. My dad hates women, along with people of color, but that's another story. And my mom thinks all women are stupid, weak, and materialistic. I was getting my girlfriend a whiteboard because she liked to doodle and it would be a cute gift. My parents flipped crap, telling me that was the dumbest gift ever and that would break up with me. So I got her a candle instead. She would later tell me a whiteboard was a fine gift and I later got her one that we both enjoyed. We dated for 5 years and my mom kept hammering into me that my GF was gonna cheat on me all because I haven't bought her jewelry yet. From then on, I kept my dating life private from my pathetic family. They're teasing you because they like you. Very wrong. They bullied me because I was small and didn't fight back. It stopped when I finally snapped and threw one of them down a flight of stairs. My dad, a teamster, warned me not to use my GI Bill on college. Instead, I should go out and get a good union job where I'll have a pension. Otherwise, any job I ever have, they could just fire me for no reason. Thankfully, I ignored him and got my bachelor's in electrical engineering. I've been working steadily now for about 20 years and have a very large amount saved for retirement. Music can only be your hobby. You should get a real job. Started making money only with music since 17 yo. Never worked a day anywhere else and made a great career out of it. Kudos to you. Many of us struggle and fail, and it's not for a lack of trying. You just have to go talk to the manager. No, they'll tell me to apply online and probably think I'm stupid for not knowing to apply online, because literally every job expects you to apply online. I guarantee you if I went in there and asked to speak with the manager I'd get hired. You just have to show initiative. You have 30 years of industry experience at a well-known firm at the management level. Initiative is not the reason you're getting hired. It's because I have 6 months of experience and you have 30 years. I guarantee you if I emailed the director of HR, I would get hired. Yes, because you're senior employee, not a 22-year-old begging for a job. You'll get a job, you just need to want it and work harder. Maybe actually go out and look for a job instead of sitting on the internet all day. Holy crap, shut the frick up. I've been mindlessly filling applications for 6 straight hours and I've been doing this for weeks and I've gotten 3 replies and they were all telling me I didn't get the job. There were 3 billion less people on earth when you got a job and the internet barely existed and people had more money to hire because that was before your generation decided to frick the economy and make healthcare, housing, and education insanely expensive. Rant over. I have a job that I love now, but holy crap that was annoying. Don't play a brass instrument because it's for boys. Don't display your intelligence because boys find that intimidating. My mom always criticized little things I would do and say you're never going to get a boyfriend if you do it that way. Turns out that those little things were the reason my boyfriend asked me out. Good thing I'm stubborn and didn't listen to her. I would also like to mention that I came out as a B to my parents a year before me and my boyfriend got together. She still continued to say boyfriend even though I literally had to explain to her at least a million times that I have more options. So yeah, she's also a little salty about that, but at least my dad is chill with it. Don't ever hit back. Tell a teacher. Frick that. I was bullied relentlessly for years from about 4th grade until 8th grade. Just taking it mostly verbal, but some pushing, shoving, and people sweeping my legs out etc. Util one day, in gym class one of the worst ones shoved me into a wall and it cracked a tooth. I finally had enough and I punched him in the face so hard I broke his nose. While he was down, I kicked him in balls and in the head multiple times. Blood everywhere. I got suspended for 5 days. Totally worth it. No one ever bullied me after that. It was just that simple. University will be the best time of your life. Heck freaking no. Being isolated away from your support networks and friends while having severe mental issues is not fun. University is a breeding ground for stress and burnout, anxiety and depression. It's the first time many of us have lived away from home and we haven't got a clue how to take care of ourselves. Sure, there are fun parts, but it's freaking hard too. University was my first time away from home. It was 24 hours after burying my best friend that I began my freshman year. She was killed by a drunk driver a week before term started. Over the next 3 years, I lost my closest university friend to an OD, another to a suicide, and another to a car accident. It was definitely not the best time of my life. If you fight back, you're just playing their game. Just get a teacher. Turns out some people in authority positions just suck as people. Others actively abuse their power. Resisting, with verbal, physical, or legal force, is sometimes the only answer. Took me a long time to appreciate that. Basically what my mom told me. My dad on the other hand, told me if they come at you, fight back. Don't let them push you around. That was good advice. You can feed a family on minimum wage. Haha, only if you're getting financial aid and food donations from a church. My family had built our lifestyle around being super poor. Glad I broke that cycle. Congrats on breaking the cycle, man. It's hard to break generational poverty. Also, we really need to raise the minimum wage. My dad told me that you had to drink water and couldn't drink anything else like soda or Kool-Aid or whatever because your body wouldn't recognize it and you'd die of dehydration. Dad sounds like a hydro homie. Mum told me the pill wasn't effective if I drank alcohol. This was her way to stop me drinking underage. It worked. I choose underage freaking instead. Only found out this was a lie in my 20s. I was shocked. I confronted her about it. She laughed and was proud it worked for so long. I was put on the pill at a young age by my gynecologist due to a medical condition. Your liver thanks you, but I hate liars. Study what you find interesting and a career will follow. Waste of 4 years and a shitload of money. Mostly scholarship money, some of my parents' money, a tiny bit of my own money. I have a history degree and work at a history museum as a part-time parking attendant. They told me during the interview that I got called back because of my degree. It took having a history degree just to interview for a parking attendant job. To ignore bullies. That's the worst kind of advice one could give to kids. Bullies don't want attention. They want to cause damage. Trying to ignore them only give them more power. They feel like they can do whatever they want without any repercussion. In my case, as shy female, the only thing that stopped my males, always males, Bullies was me punching them in the face. Then their poorly developed brain realized I want the easy prey they believed I was and stopped bullying me. I'm not proud of this, but I had to defend myself, since family and teachers weren't unable to help me in the best case, or brushed off the situation as unimportant in the worst. This works for adults too. Submissive people get used and abused. Teaching a young kid that they won't receive any help when they're threatened, to lower their head and pretending nothing is happening, will turn them into weak adults. Teach kids how to defend themselves. Damn it. You're absolutely right. Bullies aren't looking for a challenge. They aren't trying to improve their bullying game. They're looking for an easy target, and if you stop being that, they'll move on to other fights they know they can win. Don't buy that old VW Beetle. I love that thing. It gave me a hobby, a sense of freedom, smiles from random strangers, and a huge international social circle. Shave your beard before interviewing for a job. I have never been hired after interviewing with a naked face. I have never failed to be hired after interviewing with a beard. 2008 through 2011 would have been a great deal easier if I hadn't followed their advice. I hate to be the one to tell you, man, but I am pretty sure this has a lot more to do with the times than the facial hair. When I was a young boy first trying to figure out how to holler at the ladies, my dad, who is Mexican for context, told me that the best way to get a girl's attention was to work your way close, and in her ear whisper the phrase coochie coochie. Sounded simple enough, did not have the intended outcome. My dad thought it was hilarious. Great way to troll your kid. It takes two hands to clap, a Confucian Chinese proverb which apparently means that if you disrupt the social order by being a victim, you probably did something to deserve it. Heard this one countless times growing up and it was always bulls. My mum told me one day I'd meet the perfect man and he'd dump me for having poor table manners. I met the perfect man and he got eggs stuck in his beard on our first date. 2.5 years later we're expecting a baby. I grew up in one of those batshit crazy organic vegan non-GMO households. My mother used to always say that GMOs are actually government controlled molecular robots that are used to control us. She used to also say that all gays have AIDS. Frick you, mom. I am now an extremely gay bio student working with molecular robots that can save lives. Well, obviously GMO stands for Government Molecular Oversight. I had an ex's parents tell her that she wouldn't be able to get a job if she ever went to a psychologist or anything alike, that it would end up on some sort of list or permanent record which a job interviewer has access, which added on to the issues she already had. Poor girl wouldn't dare reach out for help to anyone. Her parents did something they didn't want anyone knowing about. Pretty much all of it. If I listened to them, I'd be a divorced community college dropout with 3 kids working a job I hate in a town that's dying, and catering to their every whim. I'm a married, child-free engineer in a mid-sized city with absolutely no contact with my parents. Now I just have to deal with the PTSD that is my life gift from them. It doesn't matter what you major in. Just get a degree and you'll get a job easily. I graduated in the middle of the recession. Don't worry about having a plan financially. Everything will work out. Maybe I should specify that this particular comment came from a conversation about why I don't feel comfortable having kids just yet. Just pay the minimum on your credit card every month. That's all you have to do. Yeah, thanks mom. Took me years to dig out of debt. When working at a crappy warehouse job unloading 60-pound boxes from trucks all day, I hurt myself unloading one day and my parents kept telling me it doesn't matter, just keep working. Stay at that job, it only matters that you work, not what you do. I hated my life for years. I didn't know why. I was just never happy, unfulfilled, felt no life purpose. I was treated like crap for being white by openly xenophobic bosses, and harassed at work all day every day. Then one day I found my passion, building websites. I got an internship at an advertising agency, and 3 months later I was hired with less hours and making less money, but I felt amazing. I went from dreading sleeping at night because I knew I had to work the next day to literally thinking about work non-stop because I was so excited. It's been 2.5 years since then and I'm honestly an entirely different person now. I'm happy. I look forward to every day and even get a bit sad when I can't make it into work. I feel like my life matters and that I'm doing something I'm proud of. I've been on cloud 9 ever since I got out of that horrible crappy job. This is actually a quality of younger generations that older ones don't seem to understand. People are actively choosing, if they have the opportunity, to work doing things they like, or at places they like, despite it meaning less pay, because the quality of life goes up so much when you don't hate your job self. If you go up to a table full of girls and say, "Hi, I'm new in town and I was looking for someone to show me around," this has a higher chance of failure than success. Let's just say. You have to go to college to be successful. Less attractive girls have better personalities. You have to have kids. Less attractive girls have better personalities. My sister intentionally dated ugly guys because she believed that they all cheated on her and abused her. Now she's with a guy who could be an underwear model and she's happier than ever. Don't engage in fellatio. It brings demons into your house. Yes, my mom actually said this to me right before I got married and was a virgin. I told her anything my husband and I did in the marital bed was between us and God. Never give up. It's inspirational and crap but not the right thing to tell a kid. I was so stressed during school because I thought I couldn't let them down. It took me a long time to understand that it's okay to give up. That's called toxic positivity. Being positive to the point all nuance, situational awareness, and care for others' feelings or perspectives is lost. Never give up. Just be happy. Think positively. Everything will work out. Everything happens for a reason. Spend 1/4, save 3/4. My paycheck is $8 an hour. The determined minimum wage in America is $7.50. Who in their right mind would think I would be able to live with a savings mentality where my paycheck to spend freely, food and crap, would basically be $2 an hour? Yeah, maybe if you make 6 figures and live alone that could work. Just be yourself, and people will like you. Not when you have Asperger's and you never shut up. People will be kind to you if you're kind to them. BS. My dad told me never to take time for myself to have fun, told me I needed to spend my whole life working and that's all that mattered. Also told me after my mom died that me being sad doesn't matter because that's life and nobody cares. Toughen up. I have a bunch. If I go to sleep with wet hair I will get sick. I cannot eat banana and drink milk together in the morning. If I sleep late, my hair will turn white. I cannot whistle at nights because it attracts ghosts. The list goes on. You don't want to do martial arts. That's for boys. You'll get hurt. Currently almost 40 and about to test for my second dan in Taekwondo. I regularly get gold in tournament sparring. Don't go camping. Some rapist will kidnap you out of your tent. Camping and hiking is one of the most enjoyable family activities we do together. The plethora of hiking camping opportunities is one of the many reasons we plan to move to New Zealand. The first I remember registering as bulls was when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. I can't remember how the topic came up, but I remember making some statement about not lying to my kids one day and my father said, "If you're the parent, you can tell them anything you want. It's not like they are there to see what really happened." My father's lived a lot of this, but has completely discounted the notion that other people witness stuff and can corroborate or disprove a story. A big later one was, student loans are good debt. You'll get your degree, get a good job, and pay it off in no time. I think I'm 10 years into payments and am down $6K from when the interest peaked, and $10K over what I originally took out. I should just try to get that first job I interviewed for. I would have been miserable there. Like, get out in 3 months miserable. I remind myself that there is a filter that Reddit puts on reality, as does any medium, as does your parents' rose-colored memories and advice derived that memory. This isn't a binary world, and people's experiences, whether exaggerated, made up, or completely accurate, does not mean I should draw definite conclusions from what I read in this thread. Because some parents said to go to college and their children would be guaranteed a big income, and that didn't happen, that does not mean that college is in fact a waste of money every time. That might not even be true most of the time. There are so many variables, such as how that time in school was spent, internships, working, volunteering, networking, and what type of major was pursued. It certainly is believable that people could have done everything right and still fell short of what their parents said, but that isn't a set in stone rule. Also, I always hear about how one adult could work 20 hours at a factory and that was enough to own 2 houses, 4 cars, yearly vacations, while supporting a spouse and 15 kids. But the fact that other people might have been in a better situation doesn't mean I should skip college. As a rule, it just means that if I am taking advice from a parent, I should keep that context in mind. Yes, baby boomers can have bad advice. Taking Reddit as truth can be even worse. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.